Hey, folks. Want to get your advice on something that I came up against recently. We got an email from a local authority asking us to quote for an event. Now, it was just an email. There were no big long attachments or anything, but in the email, they had simply asked for an event controller, given the days they needed the event controller for, outlined which days were billed, which days were the event, and that was it. So all they were essentially looking for was an event controller. So I responded with a few inquiries. I know I asked who had developed the plans, done the paperwork, who was the safety advisor or safety officer on the event, and a couple of other questions like that, just to help me kind of assess whether we would even quote for this. So I got a response quite quickly, to be fair, and they said the two key bits I remember at least. They said that their internal event department had done the planning and the paperwork and the documentation, and that's what would be used, and that it was expected that the event controller would cover the safety role as well. Now, none of those two things, neither of those two things sat right with me. To be honest, it wasn't something we wanted to get involved in, wasn't a basis on which we wanted to get involved in an event, especially for a local authority, who, to be honest, to my mind, should know better. So wondering if you'd have kind of felt the same way, thought the same thing. I responded saying, okay, thank you for the extra information. On the basis of what you've outlined, we won't be submitting a quote. And I actually think that I asked that we be removed from their mailing list, because I think regularly they send quotes, that particular local authority sends quotes like that, where they're really only looking for, basically what it feels like is they're looking for someone to plonk into what on paper reads like the main role, even though they've had no input into the planning or anything. But on the day, they want them to be in charge. So if anything goes wrong, it's on them. That's the way it comes across to me as the supplier. That's the way it feels. So we opt not to be involved. Very interested to hear what some of you guys think, and whether you've come across that, whether it's fairly typical, and how you might have reacted, and whether it's something you'd have been interested in pitching for. Let me know in the comments. Thanks.